Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Boys and girls, welcome to the cockpit. I should have thrown on my Jet jersey first. My apologies. We're going to be talking a little bit of Jets Dolphins, as well as some NFL draft type stuff. So I want to get your thoughts on everything going on in Jetland. Look at me looking good. Fantastic. For those of you that are just dropping in, make sure you hit that like button on the way in. For every 25 likes, I'm going to pick a qualifier on our stream to possibly win a shirt at the end of tomorrow's stream with the Talking Jets guys. O'Leary and Green Bean. So if you want to do that, or if you're listening to this after the fact and you want to get in on it for tomorrow, or you want to get double entered, leave a comment underneath this video after it is aired. But on to some more Jet news. Or I shouldn't say. Sorry. Some Jet news. So the Jets wind up losing 24-31 to the Miami Dolphins. So I guess the big question is, how are we feeling? What's going on? I felt like the Jets really could have won yesterday's game. It was like kind of bittersweet. I wanted to see as many wins as possible, but at the same time, I am keeping draft pick kind of in the back of my mind. So if we could look good while somehow finding a way to lose, not the worst kind of situation. Defensively, oh man, we are in a world of hurt. But I've said it before. I have no problem losing games because of our defense right now. I think there's a lot of issues with injuries, a lot of issues with just talent across the board, obviously with giving up a ton of yards on the ground. Being able to stop the run has been a real serious issue, and I think linebacker should be a very high position that we try to target in this offseason. Secondary-wise, we got 2 interceptions. Ashton Davis and Brandon Eccles both get interception. Eccles returns his for a touchdown. That was really cool. Good to see. Was that our first pick 6 of the season? You would think with 6 interceptions, Ryan would remember. He doesn't. I have no idea. Either way, felt good. Nice to get some energy on that side of the field. And what's frustrating is when you have 2 turnovers, the Jets probably should have won, given the whole battle of turnovers. And we still wind up coming out with a deficit of 7 points. So ideally, there's situations that it could go throughout the game that were super irritating. Like we get that long, I don't even remember what the down and distance was, but it was 3rd down and long, like 15-ish yards. And we have that great hook and ladder play with Berrios and Jamison Crowder. We get the first down. I'm like, this is great. This is fantastic. We're going to score at least 3 points before the half. You're sitting close to midfield. And then Zach does the thing you cannot do in that situation. It's the clapping emoji thing. This is what you can't do, right? He took a sack. Winds up putting us in like 2nd and 19 at like our own 30 or ish, somewhere around there. Oh man. That sucked. As soon as he took that sack, I was pretty irritated. So that's frustrating. You'd like to see him not do that. But there was other situations, like the 4th down play was 3rd or 4th down, whatever it was, 3rd or 4th down, and like inches or within 1. And he gets the entire team up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry because he knows that he can catch the defense with 12 men on the field. That is a really cool growth thing. And those are the little things that you start to see little by little over the course of the season. Like we saw earlier, it was 2 games ago, I think, where Zach almost wanted to throw that same short pass to the running back out of the backfield where he's almost running. The one that was intercepted, that goofy one that hit off the back of, was it Ty Johnson's back or Austin Walter's back? And he winds up pulling it down and just taking the sack of like a yard or 2. So you're seeing these little things, little by little, starting to get better. And this is what you want to see. You want to look at week 1's tape and then look at week 18 and say, we have gotten better from here to here. That's the ultimate goal for this team this year. There's some, hurdles you have to go through. You got a ton of injuries. You're learning a new system. LaFleur goes up top. I think my most comfortable thing for me is that all our quarterbacks, even if you don't want to admit Zach is having as much progression as I'm kind of leading on here, because it seems like Jet fans are pretty split on this. Like some guys like really don't like Zach, and I don't know if they're just like upset that we traded away Sam still, or if they're like objectively just like he sucks. It is what it is. I don't see that. I see the coaching staff as working. 3 of our 4 quarterbacks, White, Josh Johnson, who's no longer with us, Joe Flacco, all had really good games. Zach Wilson starting to turn around. Really liked it. Other positions of play. Elijah Vera Tucker looks like a stud. He winds up missing, I think he missed 2 snaps yesterday. I was so mad because I wouldn't call it injury that he was knocked out for, but he got poked in the eye. It's like, oh, come on. Like I was like thinking Becton 2.0. He's never going to miss a snap. This is going to be fantastic. And it's still going to be fantastic, but whatever, missing snaps now. Guys, we're going to do this the same way we used to do it. Call in starting at 8:30. So I'm going to just ramble, talk to the chat a little bit here, and then we can get to your thoughts. I want to talk a little bit about Zach's progression. I want to talk a little bit about the loss yesterday. And I also want to talk about draft position, because if you guys saw, I did release the possibility of the Jets getting the number 1 overall pick. And that's something that I think is fascinating. And I see some of you guys talking about it in the chat, and it gets me pretty excited. So I guess let's go off there. You kind of know my thoughts on the Dolphins game and everything going on. So in regards to draft pick and what we should be hoping for or things of that nature, the Jets are currently sitting at number 4 right now. Let's see if I can pull this up. I'll share my screen and then we can all look at this together, because that's exactly how this should be done. If you're a good host, like I wish I could be sometimes. All right. So we're looking here. Can I get a little bigger? I'll get a little bigger. Bam! Look at that head. All right. So look, the Jets are currently sitting at number 4 right now. And the Seattle pick is sitting at number 8. Obviously, what happens, is it tonight or tomorrow? I don't know when the Seahawks play. What are they sitting at right now? 5 and 8. Math. 13. Yeah, so they gotta play one more game. Obviously, we want to see that pick go up. But what we're talking about is Jacksonville at number 1, Detroit number 2, Houston number 3, Jets at number 4. And the Jets, I don't know percentage-wise what their chances are to getting a top 5 pick, but it's damn near close to 100, because we would have to win 2 games to really jack up our standings in this. So more than likely, we're sitting at a top 5 pick. But where it gets interesting, because Houston beat the Jaguars and because Detroit beat the Cardinals, now we are sitting in a situation where if the Jets lose to Jacksonville, we now leapfrog to number 2 overall, with Detroit still needing to play Seattle and the Falcons. That would be incredible. That would be wacky. It kind of sucks because we're in a year that there's not like a top quarterback. Not that I'm looking to get a top quarterback, or not that I'm looking to have that weird Cam Newton, Kyler Murray, like let's swap our quarterback after 1 year type of situation. Like I don't want that at all. But I would love for a really good quarterback to be there so we could trade out. I don't love getting the number 1 overall pick. It's a little embarrassing. But you are getting the best player in the draft. More so than likely, if the Jets get the number 1 overall pick, we will be staying at that pick and we will be taking an edge rusher. I'd be very surprised if we did not. Ideally for us, we would like to get one of those top 2 picks, because more than likely, if Detroit is picking number 1, they are going to take Aiden Hutchinson. I think they take the hometown kid from Michigan. Number 2 could be 𝐗-𝐁𝐿. I don't believe Jacksonville is a team that's going to go defense. early in this draft, I think they're going to go with Evan Neal, the tackle. Or maybe they trade out. Like I don't think defense is their forte this year. The Texans are an interesting spot because if I were them, I would be looking to trade down. I would try to get some more picks. If you don't like, if a quarterback rises, take the quarterback because neither Jacksonville, I shouldn't say Detroit's not going to take one, but I don't think there's one that Detroit wants to take over the edge rusher. Houston, what they could do, and what I think they will do, is take either Matt Corral or whoever you deem the top quarterback, because obviously they're not going to have Deshaun Watson. He's going to wind up getting traded to either the Panthers or the Dolphins or maybe the Eagles. So there's a whole lot of potential options that could go on. And then there's the Jets. So I have a hunch that we're going to get one of the top two edge rushers, but man, it would really suck if we didn't get Hutchinson or Thibodeau because Houston decided to just go for it. They do have a first. Do they have another first round pick? I think they. Oh no, they don't. Who has the other first round pick? Oh, the Lions. That's what I'm thinking of. The Lions have another first round pick. So what happens? Lions could go with a quarterback later in the draft. But do we want to lose to Jacksonville? Or do we want to try and beat Trevor Lawrence? I'm kind of on board with okay, so let's play worst case scenario. If the Jets get 2 wins. I don't like to call that worst case scenario because I want to root for wins. I guess let's say with 3 wins. With 3 wins, the Jets jump up to 6 wins total. The farthest we can fall without knowing any other team's schedule, I think, is number 10. Number 10 if we win out. If we win 2 games, we then fall to like number 8 or 7. I think it would be 7. We'd fall just behind Carolina. Carolina, as of right now, is tied with us for strength of schedule. But if we were to beat Tampa, I think that would throw a wrench in things. But they do have to play. They have to play Tampa twice still, which is weird with 3 games left. And then if we win 1 game, we still have the tiebreaker over the Giants and Chicago, who are sitting at 5 and 6. The Giants have, obviously both those picks. So more than likely, we're talking 1 win, Jets stay in their slot, or lose and move up to number 2. That's kind of where we're at. So I want to hear your thoughts. I want to go through the chat a little bit, see what you guys are talking about. Let's see. I'm going to hide that. Zoom back up. Let's see. What are you guys saying? And this doesn't have to be all draft talk. we can talk about anything you want. Rich says, why so many injuries this year? Injuries year after year. I don't know. And it's not like they're all happening on our turf like it happened last year with like the 49ers and some of our guys. And we just replaced like a ton of our medical team too, or rehab team. I think that was one of like the big things they did this offseason. So why so many injuries? I don't know. We should get like ballet dancers and like yoga instructors in here. Get these guys stretching. That's what I want to see. Joe S. says, if this was his 3rd year, meaning Zach Wilson, and he's making these mistakes, I can accept it. If this was his 3rd year and he's making these mistakes, you wouldn't accept it. Maybe, I think is what you're saying. Basically, you're fine because he's a rookie. I think that's the gist of this. Let's see. Aha! 𝐗-𝐅𝐚𝐿 just finished the draft video, then came right here. You're a good dude. Good dude. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you liked the video as well. Liked it as in gave it a thumbs up, and also liked it as in like it was decent content. We'll see. Dark Soldier says Zach Wilson has only thrown 2 interceptions in his last 5 games. This is what's so massive to like talk about. What's Zach at right now? 6 touchdowns and 2 rushing, I think. Is that right? Chat, let me know if that's right. I think it's 6 touchdowns throwing, 2 touchdowns running. So you're talking about like against 11 interceptions. He had 11 interceptions. If you take away 4 of those from week 2, changes his entire stat line. We're talking a lot better if we're saying 6 or 8 touchdowns to 7 interceptions, right? Completely different situation. So him only having 2 interceptions in the last 5 games, significantly better. I want to say he's down. He was as high as like a 4% turnover or interception for every pass, but I think now he's down to under 2%. So he's definitely playing better. DSantana says, how is Becton coming along? I believe Robert Saleh. There it goes. See, look, David says Saleh didn't comment on Becton today. I really don't think he's playing at all the rest of the season. I think he's done though. Mutt Viles, what's up, dude? Says, how are you feeling about Godwin being out with free agency coming? I am disappointed because Godwin was one of my top guys I would have liked. Michael Gallup is my number 1 wide receiver that I would like because I think Price is going to be a factor. I think he's more likely to be taken by Douglas versus someone like an Allen Robinson or a Devontae Adams. I don't think that Douglas is going to spend a crazy ton of money in free agency. He does want to build this team through the draft. So him being knocked out, clearly Godwin is not going to play until at best maybe September, late September. It's usually a 9-month injury. And then he's got to start practicing, right? So at say he starts practicing October 1 of 2022, like that sucks. He's probably going to sign a 1-year prove-it deal for a very low amount of money to go back to a team that has Tom Brady with an offense that he knows, that has a shot at winning the Super Bowl, look to perform well, figure Brady retires after next year maybe. Now you go on, you get your big contract. That's kind of where I see that headed there. Joe says, yeah, what rookie quarterback is lighting it up now? They treat Zach like he's a 10-year veteran. A lot of people get upset with Zach. Although, to be fair, his accuracy has been a big issue. But I do see him making strides. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence hasn't had a good year. Now, maybe with Urban Meyer gone, perhaps that changes. But based on 1 game, I would say no. Right? They lost to the Texans. Mac Jones, the best of the bunch quarterback-wise, is really I would say I'm underwhelmed. I don't want to talk bad about Mac Jones at all because I want to because he's a Patriot. And I want him to be bad, but he's not doing anything crazy. I'm not afraid of Mac Jones yet, but I was not afraid of Tom Brady through his first 3 Super Bowls. And then he figured it out. So we want to try and generate some pressure on this kid. This guy's a statue in the pocket. We should be able to cause some issues with him in our division. Then you're talking Trey Lance. I'll be honest, haven't kept super close tabs on him. I don't know where he's at in his development at all. Fields is the other one that's been starting, and Fields not having a great shake of it either. He had what was the game he had? Was it last week? Prime time? I think he did okay. Matt Curtis says, imagine if we lost to Houston. If we had lost to Houston, we would be what? 2. Now I got to look at it. We'd be 2-12. And yeah, we would have the first overall pick, right? First overall pick, and you wouldn't have to worry about Jacksonville. Because actually, I guess you would have to worry because if you won, you'd wind up falling to 3. I don't know. I get what you're saying. David says, Saleh hinted at why Mac Jones is having success in his presser today, saying how Bill Belichick and staff have been there for 20 years. 100%. Oh, absolutely. Stability within an organization is one of the best things, not even just football, but company-wide. If you have a company that has a lot of turnover, certain realms do, you tend to see shaky leadership. You tend to see shaky results. People that stay in the same spot, generally speaking, you're going to spend less money training people. You're going to have better trained employees because the employees that are doing the training know what to and what not to do. I think there's definitely validity to that. Not only just being like Belichick being a great head coach and, McDaniels being there forever, while also having his coaching side of things. Like, there's a lot of firepower there. Not to mention he had the best coaching in college coming from Nick Saban. So, I don't know. There's a whole lot of things going on. Jets Gang says, why would we trade Becton? So I see someone talking in the chat. Where did I see it? Let's pull it up here. Give credit where credit is due. James Luongo says, trade Becton for picks. I cannot get behind this right now. I don't know what you would get in return for Becton. If I had to trade him, I'd be looking for a first and a third, like, easily. And then maybe you go Evan Neal early, but you're just kind of swapping out one for another. I mean, I don't consider Becton injury prone. I think because of his size, injury recovery might be longer, but I think we saw just how good Becton could be last year, and I think it would be a mistake to move on from him knowing that type of talent, only to have to take another tackle anyway, because George Fant is only here for a year. So, or an additional year. He's here through 2022, and then his contract's up. So we are not trading Becton. I would very much hold on to him, and I'd be very upset if we did. Eddie DeJesus says, Mac Jones is not the best. If he were a Jet, disgruntled Jet fans would call him a bust. Yes, I do think that Zach Wilson is hampered by our rookie coaching staff, poor talent, and I think the complete opposite is true for Mac Jones. If Mac Jones were having a 3-pass kind of game in New York where he only completed 2 passes, now granted, if he were to win it, I think people would be like okay with that. But you better believe he'd be getting a ton of hate. He's accurate, but he's doing the dink and dunk stuff. The excitement that people have for Zach Wilson is the off-script plays, the cannon of an arm, the ability to really wow you. And I feel like Mac Jones can wow you on his boringness, kind of like how Brady always has that surgical precision. So I guess I don't want that, but I would say at this point in time, I'm not worried about Mac Jones. I'm more worried about Zach performing well here than I am about anyone else's quarterback inside this division. Gitmo Bob says, Zach Wilson, both Manning brothers, Josh Allen, just a few quarterbacks who struggled their first season. It's idiotic to write Zach off. I can't tell you how many people have me angry, tippy-tapping on my keyboard, whether it be the comment section or like forum posts or Facebook posts. Like, the most controversial stuff always gets the most traction and algorithm help. And it just it gets me mad. I hate it. I hate it so much, and it shows me. I just get fired up. I get so angry. Let's see. What else are you guys talking about? Mike said, did you see Bart Scott on SNY? He was so wrong. What Mike is talking about is Bart Scott. Now, I watched the entire clip, but I didn't take away exactly what other people took away from this. But Bart was basically, I don't want to say shitting on Zach, but he was definitely not thrilled with everything going on. And he never brought up the defense at all. Zach was not the reason we lost that game yesterday. He could have been a reason we won that game if he were able to, I don't know, throw it all over the yard. Maybe he had 300 yards and we lost or something like that. But I'm not blaming yesterday's loss on any sort of Zach Wilson issues. I thought he was sharp for the most part. He had the one throw to Mims that was high at the end of the game. And I think there was one in the flat to Crowder, maybe that was a little off. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, I don't agree with Bart Scott. And I like Bart Scott a lot. I think he's a very knowledgeable dude. Joe S. says, Ryan, how do you feel about Tua? I feel just fine about Tua. Thank you very much. And I hope that's how the Dolphins feel, because I don't want Deshaun Watson in our division. I very much want Deshaun Watson to stay out of the division. I hope Tua does just enough to ruin all their draft picks, so that way they cannot trade meaningful draft picks to go get Deshaun Watson. My gut feeling is Watson ends up in Carolina. I think that's where he goes. That wasn't my gut feeling before. My gut feeling before was either the Jets or the Dolphins last offseason. I would have said the Dolphins. I mean, he has the no trade clause, so it is still technically just the Dolphins right now. But that could switch. We'll see. Devin says, if we can't get Kayvon Thibodeaux, Hutchinson, or Evan Neal with our first pick, I'd rather trade back for more. All right, so let's see. If all three of those guys are gone, there is an outside shot someone might want to trade up, because the Giants are sitting right behind us. I don't believe the Giants take a quarterback. I think they spent both picks on the one on the offensive line, one on the defensive line. So I think Karlaftis, I think Linderbaum, 𝐗-𝐅𝐸𝐵, I think is an option for them as well. If we can't get any one of these three, I would go with an edge rusher or Linderbaum. And I don't love the idea of going Linderbaum so high. If he's available for our Seattle pick, between him and Hamilton, I would be more okay with that there. But up at the top, I would rather go with an edge rusher. So if those three are gone, I'm going with 𝐗-𝐅𝐸𝐵, I think. I like Karlaftis. Don't have anything wrong with Karlaftis, but I think 𝐗-𝐅𝐸𝐵 has a knack of getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand, and a strip sack is something we desperately need. We need more turnovers. 𝐗-𝐼𝐴MPion. Fant is a top 10 left tackle, and he started playing tackle 3 years ago. Yeah, he was a tight end before that. Isn't that kind of crazy? It's a little friggin' wacky. But he has been playing well. And again, I think there is a discussion to be had this offseason. I think they let Becton sit the rest of this year. That way they don't have any sort of issues with is Becton going to start? He's not starting right now. Now we're creating all these different headaches. I think he's definitely not playing the rest of this year. And I think they're going to let it go into training camp. And, Becton should be the incumbent because he got hurt as the starter. But I do think it should be a competition. I think Fant should get a shot at this. And I think worst case scenario, you move Becton to right tackle, if that's how it winds up being. I wouldn't be upset with that. Not at all. Are you guys talking about trading Bryce Hall? I'm not trading Bryce Hall. This is ridiculous. Bryce Hall is a starting cornerback, probably a cornerback 2, but hard to judge since he has no safety help, and we're not getting any quarterback pressure. I like Bryce Hall, and he's part of the solution. I'm not getting rid of him. Get out of here. It's a great late pick. Rodrigo Costa says, Watson going to end up in prison, LOL. Well, I don't want him to end up in prison because that means he really did something wrong. I'm definitely holding out hope that he's not like a piece of shit, and that those girls are fine, and they're just kind of money hungry. And so, I don't want him in prison because that means he did something wrong. I very much would like to the opposite of that. Let's see. We are at 8:30. So let's see. I'm going to go through some super chats real quick. Adam Gase says, I'll be back. No, you don't, Adam Gase. Get the hell out of here. I don't want you. Ibrahima John, thank you for the super chat. Ibrahima John says, thoughts on getting Bosa from the Niners for a second and a third pick for the Jets. 49ers need some capital back for that heavy quarterback trade. I don't think they would trade Bosa, but I would absolutely give up number 2 overall to get him. Absolutely. I do think Bosa is phenomenal. I don't think they would do that. Trade for a second and third pick for the Jets. Like a second overall and third round pick? Or are you saying like a second and a third? Ibrahima John, if we could get him for a second and a third round pick, yes, absolutely. But I would imagine you're talking top of the draft. Nick Bosa is 100% worth every bit of a top 5 pick, in my opinion. But I disagree. All right, let's get these phone calls going. Where's my Where's my thing? It's over here somewhere. Ticker. Bam! Phone number is on the screen. Make sure you hit that like button. And let's see if Ryan got this to work. And you know what Ryan also got to work? His chicken and timer. Oh, this is great. So you guys that call in, you're going to see the chicken again. Or you're not going to see the chicken. I'm going to see the chicken, and everyone watching is going to see the chicken. What I could do is I could do video calls. If I did video calls, then you would see everything that's going on. You ain't used to having an option, but I am. Got options. All right. So while that's going on, let's go through our chat. Adam Gates, can I call? I have something to say. Of course you can, dude. We got a call coming in. Who we got? Oh, now we don't. I don't know what happened. That person hung up. Disappointing. Let's see. There we go. Now we got a call. Who's calling? Matt from New York. What's up, dude? Welcome to the cockpit. Shoot. Yep. So if you're saying if the Lions are third, because right now the Lions are second, right? It's Jaguars, Lions, Texans. No. Lions have the tie, so they're in second right now. The Texans are third. If Neal and the edge rushers aren't there, I would have a hard look at Kyle Hamilton, I think. I would take a hard look at Linderbaum, and I would take a hard look at the other edge rushers. I would prefer to go edge rusher personally. I think that's more important for this defense. Now, if they feel that by draft time they think Carl Lawson has not lost a step and he's everything that we imagined, I still think we would go edge rusher, even though, you don't want to double dip at the position. But I don't think you can have enough edge rushers. I would go edge rusher. So Karlaftis, Ojabo. Ojabo is the one I would take out of Michigan. I think he has a knack for getting the ball out of people's hands. He worries me. He hasn't. I think he played 3 games this season, had foot surgery, and then is basically opting out the rest of the season to preserve his draft stock. He had an incredible freshman year, 6 interceptions. I think he had like 30 tackles. Really had a good season. And he is a really, really good corner. But I don't think that it's so I don't know. I don't think that it's such a dire need in this particular defense that we would need to see, or that we would need to take a cornerback so high. Are you feeling a particular way in terms of the draft? Yeah, right. Like that's the fear, and I don't want to go through another like D Milliner like at all, especially in a defense that doesn't seem like they need the cornerback help. Like we need cornerback help, but I think we need edge rusher help. Hold on, I need to fix something. No one can hear you. I'm like all over the place. All right, speakers are going through the AirPods, so I got to change this to loop back audio. All right, let's see if Ryan's doing this right. Give me just a second. All right, try talking. All right. Carl Loftus or the guy from Michigan. All right, so I think Chat, let me know if you can hear our guy now. Hold on. Let me just, before I get too far, I just want to make sure. Can't hear the caller. Nope, you can't hear him. All right. Hey, could you talk a little bit? See if I can. All right. Try talking now.
So.
There it is. Yahtzee. Figured it out. Oh, geez. Sorry. Ugh, that was bad.
So we have 2 picks. So let's just say right now, I think the Seahawks have the 8th overall pick. So if they still have the 8th overall pick, would you consider going? Who would you go with there?
So I'm going to give you some more time. So I know that the timer's going and whatnot, but no one could hear. So all right. So let's see. We're currently sitting at number 8 right now. If we stayed at that pick and we stayed at like number 4, let's say. God, that's so tough. It depends where you think guys are going to fall to, because who would you say we go with at 4? Like I think we should assume 4 first.
Okay, so 4 Hutchinson and Tibbet are definitely off the board. If Neal was there, I'd probably go Neal, but I think the Texans are going to take him though. But so personally, I think that guy Hamilton is going to be a really good player. But I don't think they'll draft him because of like the Jamal Adams thing.
I don't know if it's so much the Jamal Adams thing. I think it's more so that the Jets and Joe Douglas don't value safety that high, or at least it doesn't seem like it. Like they traded away Jamal Adams. Now, a lot of that I think had to do with attitude and the sheer amount of money he was trying to get from us. And just sort of where the roster was in general. So I think they're not necessarily against safety, but then seeing May get offered like $8 or $9 million this year, it has me thinking maybe that's not where they're going to go with this type of selection. I would say oh God, I don't want to take a center in the top 5 like at all with Linderbaum. I would go with an edge rusher. I'd probably go 𝐗-𝐷, like gun to my head. And then you got the Giants going 5, 6. On Tankathon, it has them going with a lineman. On this one, they have Evan Neal. I don't think Evan Neal makes it that far. And Kyle Hamilton.
I don't think he falls by us. If he's there, we're taking him. We want for Zach.
Yeah, I would say there's a group of guys that I would be good with going at number 8. And it depends on what happens at number 4. Ideally, we go edge rusher at 4. But then after that, I would think Hamilton is between 5, 6, 7, 8. So you got Hamilton, you got Linderbaum, and then you start talking maybe linebacker, someone like a Devin Lloyd or a Nakobe Dean, depending on where they wind up falling. I think wide receiver, depending on what happens in free agency, could be a realistic option for the Jets. And then I think Derek Stingley, if he happens to fall down, I don't think he'll fall too far. In this particular mock draft, they have Hutchinson 1 to the Jags, Thibodeau 2 to the Lions, Texans taking Corral, Jets taking Stingley, then Neal, Hamilton, Panthers going Kenny Pickett out of Pittsburgh, with the Jets taking Linderbaum at 8. So if the Jets could wind up doing like something in that fashion, like I would rather Hamilton and Linderbaum or 𝐗-𝐷 and Linderbaum or something along those lines. Helping both lines feels right to me. If Hamilton's there at 8, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know. Is there some direction you would like to see the Jets go?
So I think personally at 4, you go edge rusher no matter what. But then at 8, it depends. So if Linderbaum falls, I'd probably go Linderbaum. But if he's not there, I'd probably go that guy from Alabama or the guy from Ohio State, Garrett Wilson, or the Jamison Williams guy.
Yeah, Jamison Williams. Is it Williams or Williamson?
Really
I think it's Williams. What is it?
But I wouldn't mind going the linebacker. What's his name again? I think it's Floyd.
Yeah, there's Devin Lloyd and Nakobe Dean seem to be like the top 2 guys as far as linebackers go.
Yeah.
For me, I would like to solve wide receiver in free agency. So someone like Michael Gallup is someone I would very much like to target. So I don't have to use this first round pick on a wide receiver.
Yeah. So if we're not using wide receiver, then if Stingley, I don't think Stingley would be there because his talent is really high. It's just if he could stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But at 8, I'd probably go with Linderbaum if he's there. I think because people are saying he's like a generational center apparently, so that'd be really nice to have.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think we do. I think McGovern's played well, but I'd rather move him over to guard or even Linderbaum over to guard for a season and just like let it play out and know we don't have to worry about center. Because I do think we have to take a center this year. It just doesn't necessarily have to be in the top 10. So I'm sort of like I'm cool with if we want to go say edge rusher 4, safety maybe 8th or
something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines. I would look for center probably in the 2nd round with one of our picks.
Yeah, because like it's like I wouldn't say it's easy, but if you actually know what you're doing, I think Joe Douglas does know what he's doing. I think you could get like some really good picks for offensive linemen in like later rounds or even like a 2nd round pick too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Brother, thank you so much for calling in. I apologize for not having your audio working at the start of this. This is like, I'm bad. You think I would get good at this after doing this for like 3 years or whatever, but you have been ejected from the cockpit. Sorry. Ryan's bad at video stuff. Trying to do one thing, and I get all screwed up. All right. What else you guys talking on? Nope. Sorry. We've got a caller. Who we got?
Call from
Jeremy.
Jeremy, what's good, dude? Welcome to the cockpit.
What's up, Ryan? How's it going?
Just another day in paradise. How are you feeling, my friend?
Oh, I'm okay. You know, that was rough. We had we were having so much fun at halftime in that game.
Yeah.
And everything just went to crap.
Dude, remember when we were all talking at halftime and we're like, oh, yeah, no, the Jets are going to win by like 4, 5, 6, 7 points. We were like totally going to win this game. And then like we came out and just didn't. Is that like, that sucked. Yeah.
We went back to our way of just being a team that's capable of playing one half at the moment.
It's amazing how we do that week in and week out.
Yep. It's just crazy.
So talk to me. But, how are you feeling about the draft situation, Zach's situation? What do you want to talk about here?
Yeah, well, I was watching your video before, and I think we're kind of in the same place. You know, I don't want to root against them and for them to lose again. But at the same time, it's like I'm not going to complain after it's all said and done. If we do lose out, then I'm going to be happy about the pick. You know, obviously, if we end up with a 1 or 2 and we get a top edge guy, I'm going to be happy about that. But I'm not going to sit there and root for them to lose again. That's last year was the last year I'll ever do that, at least until we need a quarterback again.
Yeah, that's where I am. Like, if you don't need the quarterback, I'd rather get the wins. And that's like, I don't want to say like always the right thing, because I know people are always like, oh yeah, that moral victory against the Texans, like that sure did you a whole lot of good. Like, I'm sure the Giants loved beating Washington at the end of the season just to let them get Chase Young instead of you. Like, it sucks. You don't want to think draft. Like, fans can think draft, and you can root for draft as a fan. I have I give any fan the right to be able to root for a draft pick. But like players, they're not rooting for draft picks. They want nothing about it. But it's like, it sucks as a GM being like, oh, we could have had that guy, and now we got like the 3rd or 4th edge rusher or whatever going on. It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's like we get something either way, right? If we win, we feel good. It's good for the team. It's good for the future. If we lose, we feel like crap until that draft party, right? When we're all together and we have that 1 or 2 pick, and it's like, are we getting Thibodeau? Are we getting Hutchinson? And we're all excited, you know? So, I mean, either way, you know, it'll all work out. But I like what you said in the video that, you know, if we're going to lose, at least let Zach and the other kids play well, you know, and give us some hope for the future.
Dude, I would pull my fucking hair out if they had to, if we wind up beating the Jaguars, but it's because of like some weird fluky, like Trevor Lawrence has like some weird, like, oh, he missed like throwing the ball and it like fell out of his hand, and now like something screwy happens, and like, so like Nathan Shepard returns it, or I don't know. Just like, we don't win because of our young players. I want to win because of our young players. Otherwise, I want to lose. That's
right. Like
purely where I'm at.
If we lose to Jacksonville, let it be because half our team is out with COVID, right?
Yes,
it looks like
exactly.
That's what's happening. So then we don't have to take it seriously. It's like, well, we really didn't lose. I mean, all the guys were out.
it gives me some hope, right? Like, because you have some COVID issues. You have Moore being out. Carter just came back last week. Didn't feel like they wanted to like push him too hard last week. I don't know. I want to win. I just want to win with our young players.
Yeah.
And if I could win a game, like if I have to win one game, I would love nothing more than to lock in a top 2 pick prior to the last week of the season. And then it was like, okay, you're either going to get the first pick if you lose to Buffalo, or like you're going to stay at the second pick because you beat Buffalo. I would want to beat down Buffalo in the worst way possible and get the second pick, as opposed to losing and getting the first pick. Like I want so badly to knock them out of the playoffs the last week of the season.
Absolutely, because who cares whether it's Hutchinson or Thibodeau? I prefer Hutchinson personally, but I don't know, and none of us know, right? It could be either one of them. Like, so if we're in the number 2 spot, at least it's not us with the pressure of making the choice.
This is true. I really do like. I guess with the first pick is frustrating because like you have to get that pick right. I mean, you have to get the number 2 pick right too. But even still, it's like you have the choice of 2 guys. Like you could pick the wrong one. It could be a Peyton Manning, Ryan Leaf situation, right? Like the 2 good players, and you don't know which one you're going to take, and one is an incredible bust, the other is one of the best of all time. I do think 𝐗-𝐿 Thibodeau is the higher ceiling, lower floor type guy. I think Hutchinson has a very high floor, and I think he does have a good ceiling, but it's not quite as high as what Thibodeau is.
Yeah, I could go with that. Because it's just
Jeremy, I love you, but you've been ejected. Oh my God, you're out of here! You have been blown up from the cockpit. Oh, dude, I love seeing that. Chicken fly across the screen. All right, before I get to another call, I did see a super chat come in, so I want to get to that real quick. Where did it go? It was here. There it is. Ibrahima John. Ibrahima John says, hello, Ryan. Meant for both second-round picks and like a 5th, for example, if Hopkins, Ramsey, Stafford, Gilmore can be traded, Bosa can as well. All right, so a few pieces here. Ramsey was traded for 2 first-round picks. Stafford was traded for 2 first-round picks. Gilmore I actually have no idea what Gilmore was traded for. Now that I'm thinking about it. And then Hopkins was like a 2nd, and David Johnson and another, I think it was like a 3rd or 4th. If only Bill O'Brien could be working for every team we want to trade against. And I think we're going to get to a point where no one wants to trade with Joe Douglas. This guy just keeps fleecing people on trades. All right, so for those of you just tuning in, Ibrahima John said he wanted to possibly trade for Nick Bosa because the 49ers need to recoup some draft capital after trading up to get their quarterback last season. And I think there is no way Bosa gets traded because he plays a much more valued position on that team than any of the guys mentioned in your comment here. I mean, obviously Stafford is important quarterback, but Gilmore, Ramsey, and Hopkins, I'm sorry, they're great, and I would love Hopkins for our wide receiver, but Ramsey and Gilmore specifically, they could lock down one player entirely, and you can shift coverages and you can make it harder on the quarterback, but Nick Bosa can get after the quarterback all game long and make it harder to throw to every position. So I do think Bosa plays a harder position to try and trade for and might try to prime away. But yeah, would I trade both 2nd-round picks and a 5th for Bosa in a heartbeat? No questions asked. Because then I would trade down from 4 and I would be looking for maybe stay within the top 10. Maybe it's Carolina looking to jump up in front of maybe the Texans if we sneak in front of the Texans for a quarterback. Got some trade history there. Maybe we do a little swap ski. We drop down to 7, still get a blue chipper, and then whatever we get with the Seattle pick. So I don't know. I would be all for it. I would definitely trade it. I don't think they would, but I would be all for it. Who we got?
Call from
John Moore.
John Moore, brother, what's good, dude?
What's happening?
Dude, I am so excited to talk to you. I haven't talked to him forever. John Moore and I go way, way back. We run track together. We drink beers together. John's a good dude. What's up, John? How's it going out in Colorado?
You know what the Jets really need?
What do they need?
The Jets need a new owner.
Well, no, hold on. Let's talk about this, right? Did you see the thing about the Jets having the licensing rights in the UK? And people are like, oh man, are the Jets going to possibly move to the UK? Because the Rams have a licensing deal with China. They're not moving to China. And I think the Patriots have a deal with Germany, which sounds kind of funny, but either way, like Jets are not going across the pond. But if they did, and the Johnsons went with them, I want to ask you, does it matter to you? Would you follow that team if they're called the Jets? No, you're not moving there, but you moved to Colorado. I know you, John. So, like, you're following the Jets still. So, you're not with your team.
Yeah.
I'm saying, you would follow the Jets in London if they moved to London. Now, what if the Jets team moved to London like Cleveland moved to Baltimore and changed their name? Like, let's say it's like I guess for a Family Guy reference, the London Silly Nannies. Would you would you be that team fan, or would you wait for some expansion team? Would you become a Giant fan? Would you just stop watching football? I don't know. What do you do? It's such a weird question.
If it's not the Jets, it's like, are you like, I'm still a Jets fan, but I'm not going to be some other fan. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the same team at that point.
But is it all the same player? Like you move the entire team, and like the same way that the Browns lost the Browns and they became the Ravens. Like, are you sort of a Ravens fan at least for a little bit until they come back? Like, I would have a hard time. I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad if the Jets moved, especially because I have this damn YouTube channel. It's Jets Talk 24/7. So if they change the name, they're like, I don't know what's going on. I just got to scrap the whole thing.
I mean, realistically, I'm rooting for laundry here. So, I don't know. But you know, the Jets just need a new owner. The owner really doesn't even matter. Just get them out of there. And you know, the Jets got such a bad losing culture. It's like, a fresh face might do something. I don't know if it does anything, but it might do something. Who knows?
You're not like that wrong. Like, that's what's so frustrating about this, is because we've had the same owners. We've had the same New York media. There's this like stigma of the New York Jets around the NFL that's just like, oh, you don't want to go to the Jets. Like, we're the butt of every joke. We've been the butt fumble. Right. We've been the back interception. We've been like all this stupid shit that we've had to go through over the last few years. And like, I can get that. Like, I'm sure we don't get free agents because of our name. 100%. Mm-hmm. And we got to pay the jet tax, right?
And you know, it's like it's not like the owners in baseball are such a big deal because Steve Cohen buys the Mets and he's buying all these players.
Yep.
Owner doesn't really matter in the NFL because the salary cap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the GM's more important, right?
The GM's more important, but it's just a vibe. It's a stigma that you're getting rid of, and you kind of move past that. But until the owners get replaced, it's like it's going to be the same fucking team, dude. I'm telling you.
Dude, it's brutal because it's an investment for these guys. Like they're not. A lot of these guys are not necessarily football fans. They're businessmen that want to make money on business, like on the NFL. Jerry Jones bought the Dallas Cowboys in, what was it, 1992 for like $1 billion, or I think it was less than $1 billion. I think it was like $500 million. And that team's worth like $4 billion now. Like, that guy's making buku money.
I'd kill for Jerry Jones.
Oh, dude, I don't. Jerry Jones gets involved. I don't like Jerry Jones, but I like how passionate he is. I guess that's
he's the fucking best, dude. All right, people were shitting on him for bringing the benches.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a great move.
That's a great move. No, I would not get mad at that at all. John's talking about the benches in Washington, the heated benches that weren't working for the game before. So he brought benches in from a company to make sure his guys had heated butts. I love it.
Great move.
Dude, great move. I'm a fan. Brother, I love you, dude. You got 4 seconds.
All right. I love you, bro.
And you have been ejected.
You're out of
From
here.
the cockpit. Oh, that's fun. I like when my buddies call in. John and I will go back and forth during a game. We'll be like, what the hell? I can't believe that happened. Or, well, I'm so excited this happened. John's a good dude. John and I were together watching the Jet-Patriot game when the Jets won in the playoffs.
Cad.
What's good, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
How are you, my friend?
I am hanging in there, trying to have fun. How about you? How you feeling after our loss yesterday?
Horrible. We have the worst defense I've seen in my entire life.
Oh, dude,
I have a question for you. Why are we playing one gap when we have no one gap players? Like there's these unbelievable lanes that they can run between, that they trap us, they run these delays. I mean, we let Duke Johnson, who's not even on a football team 2 weeks ago, look like LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, I mean, we are in a world of hurt right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with maybe some inefficiencies on offense. Like if we're scoring points, then maybe we prevent the other team from running the ball. But when we're giving up so much yardage on the ground, it's frustrating. Last year, Quinnen Williams was tasked with a lot of double teams. So being able to eat up blockers to prevent them from getting to your linebackers, I think is something that we're starting to see a shift from, because we want to attack with our front four. Linebacker wise, we've been running a lot of 4-2-5. So two linebackers. Right. So you just don't really have the personnel to stop the run. I think that's more so what it is. It just sucks.
Did we play 4-2-5 against the Dolphins?
What was that?
Did we play 4-2-5 against the Dolphins?
I'll be honest. I assumed so. We've been using Quincy Williams and CJ Mosley basically like nonstop. Like I haven't seen Jared Davis on the field probably in like 2-3 weeks.
I mean, do you ever see one of our linemen chase down a screen ever? Is it they're not hustling?
No. I wouldn't say that's true. That's true. I think you'll see Quinnen. I think you'll see Rankins. But I don't know. It's just I feel like we're always getting beat by the screen. We're always getting beat by the by the linebackers or defensive line. And I don't know if it's just like, hey, we're not generating enough pressure. So when a guy like finally breaks free and he's like, oh, I'm going to sack the quarterback, he's not thinking like, oh shit, that offensive lineman just let me get through. I should turn around. Like that's like he's fooling you. I don't know. I think it's more a linebacker issue for me than a defensive line issue.
I mean, we asked CJ Mosley to lose weight, and now all he is skinnier and the same speed.
It sucks because I thought he came back better than I thought he was going to, and I do think we're not cutting him after this year. Like you're holding on to CJ for another season just because of his cap hits. Yeah. But I would like to see us go to a 4-3 as opposed to a 4-2-5 and switch to 4-2-5 when the situation calls for it. Like when we're down and we can send our front four to blitz. Like I don't want to be in a 4-2-5 when on like running downs or like, we just have, I don't know, it's weird to say we have better corners, but I like Michael Carter being out there. I like Guidry being out there. I like Eccles. I like Hall. Like having those corners on the field for me are better than having Jared Davis on the field. Like Jared Davis, incredibly underwhelming.
Yeah, but we go five D-backs. We can't stop the run. We can't stop the run.
Correct. Well, that's what I'm saying.
You're almost better with 5 defensive linemen, which sounds insane.
Yeah, that'd be good. You're probably right. As weird as that is, like you'd probably go like John Franklin Myers, Quinnen, Rankins, Foley Fatukasi, and like I think Shaq Lawson, but I think he's out right now. I don't know. Who else would you go in there? Probably be Nathan Shepard. Is he still around?
Right.
Kyle Phillips.
Ronnie Blair.
I don't know if he's still around. Ronnie Blair's probably the one you'd probably go on the other side if you did 5. That's interesting. I haven't thought of that. But then
earlier in the year, we talked about our defensive line being the strength of this team. We just gave John Franklin Myers a contract and said, we're going to sign Quinnen Williams for big money. And we have one of the worst defensive lines in football.
Yeah, but I think our defensive line this year was predicated on the pass rush that we were going to generate, and losing Carl Lawson, losing Vinny Curry, losing Bryce Huff for a long time. Blair was out for a little bit. And then also, you lose Joyner. Like I think a lot of our defense was predicated on that front four getting after it, and then just having some guys in the back like a May, like a Joyner, that could, maybe cause some turnovers.
Yeah, but we can't stop the run. Carl
no, we
Lawson's
can't.
not going to help stop the run.
No, that's
Carl
true.
Lawson's an edge pass rusher.
But I do think that we'd have more success getting after the quarterback on other downs and distances that might create longer downs where they wouldn't feel as needed to run. Maybe that's wrong. That could be totally wrong. Our linebacker is our Swiss cheese.
Quincy Williams would be an edge pass rusher.
You're out of here! You have been ejected from the cockpit. He makes good points. He makes really good points. So Quincy Williams, I think he was saying could be an edge rusher. I think that's what he was saying at the end of that. Or not an edge rusher, but coming off the edge. Quincy Williams as like one of the outside linebackers would be fantastic. I want to see him get better in pass coverage, but I think he hits like a missile. I would like to see him develop.
Call from
Vinny.
Vinny, what's up, brother? Welcome to the cockpit.
Like it's been an eternity since I talked to you.
I know. Well, a lot of it has to do with Ryan just having god-awful internet connection and not having fun. Now I went back to I shouldn't say I went back to an old system. I'm back to a new system, but found ways to incorporate my old stuff, like my little timer and things. Very happy right now.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
What's up, brother?
No, I heard a lot of complaining about the defense right now.
Sure.
To be fair, I don't think as bad as the defense played yesterday, they gave the offense a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But, it was the offensive line letting them down that final minute 54 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. As much as the defense gave up all the rushing yards.
I was at work and I was just, sneaking off when no one was looking to watch it the final minutes on the NFL app. I'm watching the Zach Wilson scramble where he's almost right about shy of the first down. And of course, Connor McDermott flagged for a hold.
Dude, McDermott.
YTF not?
I feel like McDermott hurt this team's chances of winning. I feel like he was the reason we lost more than any other reason.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to be horrible. It's not like one of those frustrating losses that's going to make you rip your hair out because this is a young team and they had the opportunity to win. They just, as typical young teams do, just fell short. So
not to mention we're on our, third or fourth left tackle, depending on where you put McDermott. Like you're saying, Becton, Fant, Edoga maybe, and then McDermott. The fact that you're down to that last tackle is a bad thing. Yeah. And I was talking to Greenbeat and Matt beforehand. I was like, I'm happy with how McDermott was playing in the first half. And then it felt like the Dolphins switched to man coverage and just blitzing, and it just threw everything for a loop.
Yeah, no, I know. I loved what I saw from Zach in the first half. My favorite thing was the big boy play where he just snaps the ball right as the Dolphins are trying to get off the field.
Oh, I love that. That was my favorite play of the whole game. One of my favorite plays of Zach Wilson's rookie season, I think. You saw the knowledge, and I think he thrives in that hurry up type of offense too. So I would go so far as to say I would rush to the line.
No matter what happens at that point,
yeah.
You don't even have to worry about getting the ball. You don't have to worry about getting any yards or anything because you're just going to get it on the penalty.
Yeah, you're getting a free 5 yards, and then the next time that comes around and it's a 2nd and 7 or something like that, and he catches it. Now he's going to get 12 men on the field. He's going to get a free play. He's going to lob the ball down the field. Now, I don't know if they blow it completely dead with 12. Do they call it dead with 12 men on the field?
I think the first time since Zach's been the quarterback, I think I've seen them call a roughing the passer on him.
Dude, he's been getting smacked around a lot. A lot of it has been self-inflicted. He's held onto the ball way too long and has made our offensive line look worse.
Am I crazy saying that's the first time they actually called one in his favor?
I don't know. That one was blatantly bad. Some of the other ones were definitely questionable. The one where he got hurt, the two that he got hurt with the Patriots. It was did he get called for the roughing the passer on the second one? I don't think he did. I think it was pass interference, right? And then the one on the sideline was probably a fair hit. It was a dirty hit, but it would if it was another quarterback, he probably would have gotten the flag.
Yeah, no, I'm just it's annoying that we can't beat this. Anytime I wanted to beat the Sea Mammals.
Mm-hmm. The Sea Mammals. I've never heard of them called the Sea Mammals. I like to
Well,
squish
that's what
the
they are.
fish.
They're mammals that live in the sea. I mean,
You're not wrong. I've never heard of it. It's like calling us like
well,
the
I
metal
never called
birds.
them by that, and
are we the metal birds because we're like planes in the sky? Like, I don't know.
No, I always love to make them feel like shit. Like I always ruin dolphins for them.
Oh, dude, I'm big on the meth kittens for the Jaguars. We're facing the
No,
meth kittens this week.
Dude, look up the video scientifically accurate flipper.
Oh, I don't want to watch that. I used to watch Flipper as a kid. It was on, I think it was on Nick at Night when I was like real young.
Oh no, dolphins are fucked up. They're fucked up and depressed and often kill them.
Oh, dolphins are like screwy animals. Super smart, but like kind of, I don't want to call them dicks, but like definitely not not nice animals by any stretch.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, they're not.
Vinny, quick question. Can you hear the ticker going right now or no?
No, but I know I'm probably going to get off soon, so go
I was curious. I was interested to see if anyone that called in could hear the little ticker that I have going. So I guess this seems like I'm done with the hour of our stream. It was a lot of fun. I do thoroughly enjoy the call-in show. I didn't mind doing 2, like 2 hours, but 1 hour allows me to go watch some football, which I very much want to do. So, guys, it's been a lot of fun. If you're hanging out and you stayed this long, make sure you hit the like button. We got 100-something people in here, so it's always nice to see that. Let me pick 2 qualifiers. See if Nightbot will do that for me real quick. I'm actually working on a new bot to have so Nightbot isn't such a jerk to me all the time. I just haven't quite figured it out yet. So Gitmo Bob, you are qualified for tomorrow's t-shirt giveaway, along with Mark Riss and Antonio Mancini. Both those guys qualified last week, only I lost internet connection and was not able to actually do the thing. We wound up doing like only 40 minutes last week, which I do have to reach out to Matt and Greenbean. Let's see, Elias Solorzano. So the 4 of you guys are qualified for tomorrow's t-shirt giveaway. After this stream is done, just drop a comment down below. We'll qualify you for tomorrow's giveaway. So I'll have those guys pick names from that. So definitely jump into that. Yeah, I don't know. Just excited, boys and girls. All right, guys, it's been a lot of fun. I'm at the end of this stream, so I'm going to call it a night, and I will see you guys tomorrow. But I keep saying tomorrow. I might have a work dinner. Don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow or if I can see if the guys can switch it to Wednesday. So keep an eye on the thumbnail and the timing because it may be off. But I do want to see you guys before Christmas because I got some very exciting news that I would like to share with you. And I only have 84 people that are hanging out in the stream right now. So 84 of you guys, I got some big news that I'd love to share with you guys tomorrow or maybe Wednesday. So make sure you stay tuned and I'll talk to you guys later. My name is Ryan. This has been Jets Talk. Signing off. J-E-T-S.